All right. Piero passes Arsenal medical. Documents being signed. His announcement is going to be made today. I've gone ahead to find very many people into the comment section discussing about the deal of Piero to Arsenal or Hincapié. Hincapie. Is it Hincapié? Hincapie. The name really is one of those hard ones to pronounce, but it's Hincapié. Hincapie. All right. So, Arsenal have gone ahead to find themselves really seeing this guy pass his medical, and he's really ready to obviously take on the next big step into his career as an Arsenal player. As a Here We Go was really announced yesterday, we've obviously come in here with loads and lots of things to obviously help us really know what this club is all about and what the player and the deal to Arsenal is all about. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. And continue to subscribe. We are also going to be talking about the former Arsenal player known as Alexis Sanchez. He has obviously made his return to Spain, and I'm obviously going to be letting you know to which club he has obviously crossed to as a player in there. So, let's start it off with David Austin. Yesterday, he told us that Piero Hincapie traveling to London ahead of proposed transfer from Bayern Leverkusen to Arsenal. 23-year-old still awaiting Bayern Leverkusen. Bayern permission to undergo medical as clubs continue efforts to seal Arsenal move for Ecuador international centre-back. That is it. So, yesterday, he traveled to London and to commence undergoing his medical. And that was what Hincapie went ahead to obviously do yesterday. And for the entirety of yesterday, he was in London, as Jacobs Ben told us, that Piero Hincapie currently finalizing his Arsenal move after arriving in London today. That is yesterday at around 9:50 p.m. Loan with 52 million euros buy option. That's what Arsenal is really having into the mix. So the player is coming from the Bundesliga. He traveled to London and he was obviously going to really undergo the medical yesterday. After undergoing the medical, he found himself in a position of really passing it, and after passing the medical, obviously, the player is now an Arsenal player, and his announcement is set to happen today. As Fabrizio Romano has told us the following about his announcement. He has told us that Arsenal and Bayern are now exchanging documents for Piero Hincapie deal. All done and set to be announced today. Hincapie already in London. Now, third tier 1 journalist confirmed to us that Hincapie is already in London. To see to it that all goes on well as planned, and I really feel like he is in London and Arsenal is really ready to see to it that they obviously get this player a position to play into their team. So yesterday Arsenal went ahead to lose by 1-0 to a club known as Liverpool, and Saliba went ahead to get injured. And when Saliba really gets injured, there is no way you can obviously feel safety with having Gabriel Magalhaes and Mosquera into that central defense, as the others that can come in through and really act as fill-ups are also injury prone. You can't really base onto Benjamin White to play as a right-sided centre-back because, as we speak right now, he's also injured. You can't also rely onto a player known as Ricardo Carafiori, because Ricardo Carafiori is also that injury-prone player that Arsenal went ahead obviously bringing through this season. He has gone ahead to play 3 consecutive games, and he has not obviously missed out on any of those games. So we wait to see how he obviously makes out from the international break and see how he obviously return to the club of Arsenal. So that means this is the last signing for the club of Arsenal. Piero Hincapie is the last signing for the club of Arsenal. We haven't seen Arsenal going to the market to obviously explore out signing a defender or another player, but things might change according to the injury of William Saliba. Maybe Arsenal will be like, let's try out something else and really try to get in another player. But the bringing in of a player, paying a loan fee of 6 million euros and an obligation that is really mandatory or a mandatory clause of him for Arsenal to buy the player for 52 million euros is a confirmation to many that the player is really going to is a confirmation to us that Arsenal have really explored all their budget and they couldn't obviously spend any more money apart from really getting this player on loan. After spending 68 million pounds on Ebelechi as 60 million pounds guaranteed and 8 million pounds of add-ons, Arsenal looks like they are not ready to obviously spend more and more and more money to see to it that they really find themselves in a position of really going out there to see to it that everything really moves on as planned. So, as it stands, the club of Arsenal, is getting in a left-sided centre-back and a left back. I told you the beauty about him is that he puts in what we call a perfect cross, guys. He puts in a very perfect cross, and I know Arsenal very soon will announce the player, and after his announcement he'll be given the shirt number that we haven't obviously gotten to know. Is he obviously going to be putting in that of Jakub Kivio, or Arsenal will obviously get him another shirt number? We wait and see how that really pans out. For the outgoings at Arsenal, they haven't been a very huge movement, but it looks like Fabio Vieira is going to be moving to West Ham in there. And the other player that might leave is Reece Nelson, So we wait and see whether they obviously move. When they move, I'll obviously be the first person to come in here and really tell you the truth about what this should be all about. So guys, thank you very much for watching through, and this is what you're really having in here, and we are waiting for your reactions onto that. Now, the former Arsenal player, and you know him very well, he goes by the names of Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez has returned to Spain. Remember, he once played in Spain with a team known as, what was the name of the team? The name of the team was Barcelona, and that's where Arsenal went ahead obviously buy him from and brought him to the beautiful club of Arsenal into the mix. So that's exactly how things really went ahead to happen in there for you, and Arsenal really got him in, and from Arsenal he went to Manchester United. From Manchester United he went to Inter Milan. From Inter Milan, I think he went to Marseille. And from Marseille, I think, went to another French side, and now he's back to what we call a team known as Sevilla. And it's Fabrizio Romano who has obviously gone ahead, announced that Alexis Sanchez to Sevilla, here we go, did in place on 1 year contract as Chile legend arrives today for medical documents being prepared after Sevilla got green light to proceed in there for you. Now, Sevilla looks like they're really looking in to mix up some experienced players, and these other players that have already gone ahead to be there. And I really understand that Sanchez, Alexis, is really having those legs to obviously go ahead and really play more and more and more games, because when you look at his recent season, it is really non-scaring. When you look at Alexis Sanchez, who was at Udinese. He was at Udinese and he played 13 games last season, and he left Inter Milan in 2023-2024 in there, and he was at Marseille for 2022-2023. So the player looks like he can obviously get them some 15-20 games, and I think Sevilla believe that if we can have them 10-15 games that are really very, very solid, maybe he can turn out to be that game changer, all season changer for the side of Sevilla. So that's what I had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Tell me your thoughts about Piero Hincapie passing Arsenal medical and is coming up to obviously be announced today as the player of Arsenal. And when he's announced, expect that live stream obviously coming through, and I'll be really ready to obviously bring you the latest news and information about the lad known as Hincapie to the club of Arsenal. And what are your thoughts about Alex Sanchez leaving Udinese to obviously come and join a club known as Sevilla back in Spain? He was there at Barcelona and he comes in there to obviously see to it that he puts in a very huge shift, though the question of the age is really huge in very many heads of many. He's 36 years of age, and everyone will be asking himself another question, that why doesn't he go to the Saudi Pro League and obviously make money? There are reservations in there for you. I'm out.